thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mr. Johnson, for appearing here today. It's my understanding.
Would the gentleman yield for a second? Can you pull your mic a little bit closer? The gentleman from Texas cannot hear you, and he wants to.
It's my understanding that the total funding for this could be, you're saying, in the $16 million range?
We are presently estimating, based on what we know now, that the cost of the system to be $16 million.
Okay, so what's the what was your projection of the cost to have outsourced this?
Okay.
What could they have done in the private sector?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, one of the things that when the E-Manifest Act passed, we had the same sense of urgency that I'm feeling from the committee today.
Just what's the answer to the question? What do you think the outsourcing would have cost if you had done it with private sector?
We don't know.
Someone decided to do this in-house without having an
No,
idea
the first thing that we did, the very first thing that we did was we went out and talked to every individual that had systems like E-Manifest. So the knee-jerk reaction, go talk to FedEx, talk to Amazon, talk to IBM, talk to all the big companies out there, the Postal Service.
Okay.
Go talk to these folks that track things. We went and talked to all of them.
I could recant it. I'm concerned about this time because this was passed in 12 and it's 3 years later, and you're saying it may not be finished for 2 more years. So I think we got an issue here overall, whether it was good judgment or bad judgment as to try to do it in-house. And I think the GAO came out in its own report, has been very concerned about the use of in-house IT work right now. With numbers of cancellations. So
we're not going to be doing it in-house, sir.
Go back. I've only got 5 minutes.
Okay.
So Mr. Shimkus asked Mr. Rosinski back in 2012, how long do you think it's going to take to do this? And she said, if we use very conventional procedure approach, typically in the 12 to 18 months. That's 12 to 18 months. We're 3 years later, and you're saying it may be another 2 years to go. So was she wrong?
I believe she was responding to the length of time it takes to get a contract in place. When we too will be using, we are going to be using, you know, we're not going to be doing this in-house. We're going to be using contractors.
Implementing rules on that as well. So let me go a little further. I think you got a problem. It could be overfunding. It could be maybe just incompetency, perhaps, in taking this thing on. Because I don't know who your qualifications are people that are writing your specifications for this. Are these people that have failed on others? But are you using tech stacks?
Excuse me, sir?
Tech stacks.
Yes.
Are using them?
Wait, I'm not sure
Okay, it's an OMB program for software development.
It's a certification program.
It's reviewing the status, monitoring, scheduling of development of software like this. And I'm just curious, you're not familiar with, so you're apparently not using it. And OMB has been recommending to the IT department that they should be using this, and it sounds like you're not using it. The other thing that I think in answer back to Congressman Murphy's comment, I didn't hear you use the term IV&V for independent verification and validation as a way to check for issues as you go. Are you using IV&V?
I'll ask the technical team.
Okay, so if you've opted, it's pretty incredible. So if you've opted without having other costs incurred, I'm going to do this in-house. Even though if again, the GAO has said that they've rattled off this list in their report, Department of Defense canceled their contract 5 years after spending billions of dollars. Homeland Security, they've canceled that contract after $1 billion. Veterans Affairs, I could go on and on. There's real questions of whether or not our IT is capable of writing the kinds of specifications to put these things back out in the software. And that apparently they seem to be recommending that we consider using outsourcing. And I don't hear, you've already acknowledged you had no idea what the outsourcing cost could be, but you decided to do it in-house.
No, we are outsourcing this work.
I thought you said you were doing it with 8 people on your staff.
We of course have internal staff, but we're also outsourcing the work using modular contracting strategies, agile development. That's what we intend to do.
If you're at,
Because-
what do we have? I'm running out of time here. So in the future, if this has been going on for 3 years, where are we going to be able to get some monitoring of this to see some mileposts that we're getting something done in a time frame, and how the costs are being incurred with this? Where's the transparency that we were supposed to have?
We are prepared to be very transparent.
In 3
We talked
years,
about the initial.
we haven't got it yet.
Pardon me?
This is the first report we've heard from you in 3 years.
I'm happy to report to the committee as they see fit on progress throughout the development.
Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back his time. Chair now recognizes